in Amelia's Ward, Linden. It's the mall that has it all. We have great food, a relaxing atmosphere, and activities for all ages. Tennis, swimming, and a playground. But the fun doesn't stop after dark. There's even a bar and an arcade. And if you aren't ready to go home yet, we've even got a spacious room for your comfort, complete with air conditioning, Wi-Fi, and a private bathroom. The Toucan Mall can also facilitate your event in our spacious conference hall. We also have a theater with films for the entire family. It's the Toucan Mall located in Amelia's Ward, Linden.
All right, a very good evening to all of my friends and well-wishers and relatives and those of you who are waiting and anticipating and wondering what's going on. And we want to apologize to you for the delay and the technical difficulty that we had in providing this live coverage to you. It happens at times. These glitches come up and we just have to sort them out. But we have a very capable operator here, and I want to thank her for her steadfastness and her ability to sort out issues and fix them. We have to you have to give Jack his jacket. In this instance, we have to give Jackie her jacket, right? So welcome to our program once again this afternoon and this evening, and we're going to get our little time back. I was expecting that we would have our guest back today, but apparently maybe there's some hitch there too, and we may not have that, but that's fine. That's good for you because you will have more time to make your calls and to ask your questions and hopefully get your problems resolved, hopefully. All right, a few things that happen that are not so good. One of them is the fact that we had this accident where we lost lives of maybe I think it's one or two persons. At least I saw one electrocuted because of some mishap that occurred in putting down the metal posts. It's not a good thing when you see those things, because 1 minute you're here and half a minute later you're gone. It didn't take maybe half a minute before he was gone. At least the one I saw a little while ago. And my operator, my taxi driver and I were talking, and the statement was made that life is full of consequences. Life is just like a consequences we choose. The consequences are as a result of the choices we make. It's a sad thing to say sometimes, but in reality, the choices that we make have their consequences, and the consequences sometimes are not in favor of the expectations that we have. Sometimes the consequences are so severe that we don't even know the expectations. In this case, with this gentleman who was electrocuted. You see, I remember in the years gone by, when there was going to be a major job, like planting a post, where there were wires in the vicinity, the power was turned off. If it's for half an hour or a minute or 2 minutes, the power was turned off to allow the work to be completed, and then it was turned back on. And that made a difference in what happens and what could not have happened. So it's something that we have to take a look back at to see if it needs to happen again. If you're going to have major work done near any wires that are transmitting live current, turn it off. Turn it off for maybe 20 minutes, 50 minutes, or whatever. Send some notice out that there'll be there's going to be a power outage for a few minutes to facilitate work that's being done. And that simple gesture might save the lives of many. You know, this life could have been saved had it been done that way. If the power was turned off, he would not have been electrocuted, at least not that way. Right? So that is something that needs to be reconsidered. And maybe there's some apparel that needs to be worn. If it's an insulated glove or whatever, you know, the technicians need to ensure that they follow all the protocols to ensure that they don't put themselves on the line. When I looked at the video, I didn't see any glove on the guy's hand. So I don't know if that's an error on his part, or you know, if it would have made a difference or not. But normally, when you're working with heavy voltage, you should have some sort of a protective device on. If it's a glove or a shield or whatever it is, I don't know. I'm not an electrician, but I'm thinking that that's what's supposed to be. So either you have the protective device or you turn the power off, and you may save a life or two, or maybe many more. You know. And then the other thing was the accidents. You know, we see more and more accidents on the road where persons are accidentally falling to sleep, you know, or going off to sleep and things like that. You know, taking their eyes off the road for a few moments, and then something happens, and then you know you create a situation where there's some pileup or some major accident. You know, we need to become more conscious. You know, more aware, more conscientious. We need to become more proactive, not reactive. You know, so those little things that happen end up becoming big things because they create big problems. And in a small society that we have, I don't know. And then we had the guy who fell again off the building, and that was another situation. You know, I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know if people are just forgetting that they need to look around, you know, check the surroundings to make sure that everything is in place to proceed, or maybe they're being forced to do things that causes them to compromise. And making the compromises could be very detrimental. And we see it in many instances. You know, so those are a couple of the things that I wanted to mention. Besides the crime that's happening, you know, I really don't know what's going on with that. I think we need to start thinking about neighbors looking out for neighbors. You know, all the neighbors begin to look out for all the neighbors, because you don't know which neighbor will have a problem. So we need to start, you know, maybe getting back the neighborhood watches or whatever it takes to put in place mechanisms to deter the crime. You know, it's becoming like an epidemic. You know, everything is becoming out of order, and it's creating a lot of fear in people. You know, we're having persons who are, you know, fearful of what's happening in the society. You know, as I was driving, I was looking, and I couldn't help but notice that in many of the places where people have to walk and ride, there's no pathway for them to walk and ride. Many places. You're competing, the pedestrians or the residents are competing with the vehicles and the motorcycles and the bicycles, because there's no pathway for them to walk on. But they have to use the roadway to get to their destinations. You know, so there's so many little things that are maybe lacking in our society, which creates, you know, serious concerns and issues that we need to you know, pay a little more attention to, and maybe, you know, bring about those changes so that people can have a little more comfort and a little more safety and a little less fear, in our beautiful land of Guyana, land of many waters, where we have lots of rain. It's raining now, and I don't know, we haven't had any major flooding as yet, but let's hope we don't have any. But it's a rainy season, and I like it when it rains. It helps to clean up the society, keeps the dust down, it keeps some people into their homes, But listen, when it rains, you still got to get to work, You still got to get to work, and you still got to get things going, and don't let the rain be an excuse for you staying home, all right? Because in many places that you go, even the snow is not an excuse. You better get going or get to work, or else you're going to have a letter, a warning letter of some sort. So don't let the rain. Get your umbrellas and maybe your rain boots and so on, and prepare and plan and get to work on time. Okay? I wanted to mention also that we're having very good results with the eye drops. Some persons are saying it's a miracle drop. I don't know. I don't want to say it's a miracle drop, but I know it's doing a lot of good for persons, and what it's doing is helping people to see again. Persons who couldn't see good are seeing better, and persons who couldn't see are seeing again. So I don't know if it's the eye drop, or if it's the person themselves, or if it's the angel, the angel that's touching the eyes and making it work again. I don't know what it is, but those of you who were using the eye drops, and there are lots of people using the eye drops, some are taking a little longer to get the results, but just imagine how long you had your problem. Many of you have had your problems for years, and you can't want to use the eye drop for a couple of days and expect, the eyes to pop open like that. It's going to take some time. Now, I'm not saying that some miracles wouldn't happen, because we had a few miracles, and there's one particular miracle I'm looking at that's in New York, where this elderly lady, we talked about her, she was blind for 2 years, and in less than a month, she was beginning to see again, right? We're tracking her progress, and it's getting better and better. So maybe she just had a little minor problem that needed something to remove some sort of a lining, that was there in the eyes. But, you're not going to have every one of you with the same miracle, right? Miracles are not designed for everyone the same way. Okay, so your miracle may not happen as fast as her miracle, right? But it doesn't mean that you're not going to have a miracle. Still use it, still pray about it, still expect, good things to happen, because it will make good things happen. And hopefully one day, you will get your miracle. But I tell you what, I had the eye drop. We call it the straight shot, Oliver calls it the straight shot, the pure shot. I didn't have the pure shot, but that pure shot is a wicked pure shot. Dr. Yates, Oliver wants to see you. He wants to give you a pure shot. Okay. I gotta tell you that. Welcome to the studio, Dr. Yates. Oliver wants to give you a pure shot, so visit Oliver. He has a pure shot for you. It burns. I have to tell you that it burns. I put it in my eyes, and I didn't try the pure shot yet. He wants to give me the pure shot. I'm not afraid of it, because it's not going to hurt my eyes. It's going to only burn a little bit. But then after that, I'm going to see better. I'm seeing better already, and I haven't used the pure shot. Oliver, no, he wants me to take the pure shot. But I told him to give it to Dr. Yates first. Right? So he's waiting on you, Dr. Yates, to get your pure shot. Right? But, it burns, and we have some persons who will have a little bit of reaction, because it's penetrating the cells, it's penetrating the arteries, it is getting beyond the beyond in the eyes. And you may have a little bit of reaction, like the burning, you may have a little bit of redness, but eventually it'll clear up. And, when that happens, it's because it's moving matter. It's opening the arteries, it's stimulating them, And it's really doing a lot of good things. I can tell you that. I put it into my eyes without fear because I know I'm gonna open my eyes, I'll see again, and I'll see better. So um, it's good, and it helps with all the pretty much all of the eye concerns, the cataract, glaucoma, all of those things. And I'm hoping that we can really get the results that it states, where we can clear those major conditions in all the people who take it, without too much delay. I'm hoping for that miracle to happen for all of you. So it's a lot of you that are using it, and you're getting the benefits. Some people actually get immediate benefits. They see clearly almost immediately. So your miracle is not everybody's miracle, right? Everyone have their own individual miracle to experience. So don't be afraid. It's just a matter of time, application and time. All right, that's what it takes. Now, I want to talk about a subject that is very touchy. It's a thing that we say in our society. Somebody do you. Somebody do you, or somebody do something to you. Right? I had a very beautiful little girl at my clinic this week, and just a few weeks ago, she was normal. She was doing everything normal according to the parents and the grandparent. She was functioning perfect as a child, just 4-year-old, under 4 years old. And all of a sudden one day, it changed. She became a different human being in one day. She's not functioning the same way. She stopped talking. It's puzzling the doctors out there as to why this happened, and it's puzzling everyone who knows the girl. But in conversation with the grandmother, something came out of her mouth that attracted my attention. And I had to ask her to repeat it because I didn't really hear it like I normally would, hear things. So I said, "What did you say?" She said, it was designed for me and it got the little girl. So I said, what do you mean? Someone was targeting the grandmother, and whatever they didn't affect the grandmother, it affected the grandchild. Now, I know there's evil. I know that there's evil. I know there are people who believe and are involved in evil doings. I don't know what you do, but there's a God that's greater than all of the evildoers. And there's something that you need to understand, that the things that you do always follow you. It follows you. It may not affect you, but it'll affect others for you. You may be involved in iniquity that hurts someone, and you don't realize that the hurt that you put on that person will multiply when it comes back to you. It will multiply, and it may not affect you. It may affect your husband or your wife or your sister or your brother, your daughter or son. So we need to stop doing those evil things. Desist from doing the evil things and allow people to live normal lives and achieve what they can achieve in the manner in which they can achieve it honestly. It's a businesswoman, and apparently they're targeting her because of her business. I don't know. That's what she feels. But I would ask you, whoever, if that's the truth, I don't know, to desist from doing that. And desist from doing those things, and pray that innocent 4-year-old child, not even 4 yet, will recover from the stupidity that was meted out, if that's the case. Now, I found different things. I found differently when I screened her. I found differently, and I found conditions that were not detected. And I'm hoping, and we all are hoping, that when we correct those conditions, that the child will return to normalcy. But if there's a case where evil is involved or iniquity, then for heaven's sake, let's cut it out, man. Let's don't do that to another human. You know, it's not right. It's not fair. Because we already have in our society serious illnesses and diseases to deal with. Serious illnesses. You know, I screened a 90 plus year old man today. And it was incredible, this man. He has his problem, you know, physically, but mentally he was like a 50-year-old. Mentally he was just sharp as ever. And he's in his 90s. You know, if he can be so sharp in his 90s, then why are we having all of these persons with Alzheimer's and dementia and Parkinson's and all these things? Something is wrong somewhere. You know, something is wrong somewhere. I am hoping that one day I can gather some 90-plus-year-olds on my program and have them tell their stories about what got them to be where they are at this point. You know, and I'm hoping to do that. I'm going to start accumulating some names and get their permission to come on board and talk about what got them where they are today. If you can live to be 93, 94, 95, 98 years old, last week I had a 98-year-old, you know, 98-year-old woman. Today is a 90-plus-year-old man. So we have some long livers in our society that need to be, you know, sat down and allow them to tell us, you know, some of their secrets about longevity. You know, cancer doesn't even bother any of them. Neither of the two of them have cancer cells, not even cells. Well, let me see. One had some cells, one didn't. You know, it's amazing. But no cancer particularly that has attached itself to any organ. Just cells that are roaming, looking for a host. You know, but we've got the weapons that can deal with the cells, right? Some of you expect miracles. Some of you come too late. You come too late. You come when the cells are destroyed pretty much and you're breathing barely. It's difficult when your immune system is at the point where it's almost ready to shut down. It's hard. It just makes me sad because I wonder what kept you so long? Why did you wait so late? You know, so we need to become more proactive. And men is Father's Day coming up, right? When is Father's Day? They say Father's Day. Is it this weekend?
No, it's on my birthday.
Well, I mean, it's my birthday too.
Yeah, I think it's Father's Day.
You know,
The 16th of June.
Father's Day is coming up,
Yeah, this is in June.
and this is this weekend, isn't it?
I don't keep up with that.
This weekend is Father's Day,
I know it's on.
and I know for a fact that it's not next week, it's this weekend. That we have some real great fathers out there. I think I'm one of them. You know, I think I'm a good father. I think. I don't know what I don't know what my sons will say. My sons may say differently, but I think I'm a good father. I'm a father to many of you, you know. Many of you. Hundreds of you, thousands of you, fathers to thousands of you. So I want to wish
Every Christmas time and then.
I want to wish the fathers out there, because I wouldn't see you on Father's Day, most of you, a very pleasant and fruitful Father's Day. You know, and for those fathers who have not been fathers, you know, being responsible, I'm saying to you, you can renew your consciousness and take your rightful place in the home to look after the children that you were responsible for bringing into this world. Look at them and help them to be guided correctly down the right path, so that we wouldn't have the derelicts and the criminals and the you know, the bad boys in society. You know, every father, every child, every man, every boy that's here either had or do have a father. You didn't just drop out of the sky, and the woman didn't get pregnant. Your mothers didn't get pregnant without a sperm. You know, it was a sperm, even if it was done physically or if it was done mechanically. It was a sperm, and the sperm had to come from a man. You know, some of you children out there don't even know who your fathers are. It's a sad thing. It's a sad state. You know, all fathers need to take their rightful places where they belong. looking after their children. Because it's you who fathered the child. Some fathers didn't even have their name placed on the birth certificate of the children because they weren't present. Well, of course, some fathers died before children were born, which is, a very sad thing. But you can't do much about that. But many of you are alive and you're not responsible. Some of you are derelict. I call you derelict dads. Derelict dads are dads who just father the children and leave them alone. You don't look back. You father them and you don't look back. Even dogs would go and look at the puppies. At times, male dogs would go back and look at the puppy sometimes. I see that from time to time. But don't be like a dog, man. The average dog don't look back either. Puppy, he doesn't even know he made the puppy. Some dogs, But some fathers are definitely responsible and not holding their rightful place in society, even in the homes. The children need fathers. Okay? Mothers are mothers and fathers for the most part. Lots of mothers. Guys, it's time. Time for you to take back your responsibility and help out. Help the children to be guided so that they wouldn't become irresponsible citizens in society. So to all of you, derelict or not, a very pleasant and successful Father's Day, and I hope that you benefit somehow from your fatherhood, one way or another, even if it's a dinner or maybe a little ice cream cone, anything. If you can't afford, if the children cannot afford anything big, you can take your dad to the ice cream parlor and buy him an ice cream cone and say, this is just what I can afford. Happy Father's Day. He will appreciate that, as long as he's not a diabetic. You know what I'm saying? It's a simple thing like that. Or buy him an ice cream and take it to him. Maybe he can't go anywhere. So you buy the ice cream in a cup and you get it to home to him and says, Dad, look, you know what? I couldn't afford anything else, but I just want to show you my appreciation. Happy Father's Day. A little ice cream thing for you. Anything. Make him feel like he deserves something. Because many fathers are there and the children just forget about them too. Many fathers are forgotten. Yes. Many fathers are left and not looked at by their children. For whatever reason, I don't know. Okay? But all of you children out there only have one father. One. Find him and let him know you appreciate him. If he's a bad, derelict one, find him and ask him to be responsible. Tell him, Dad, it's time that you begin to look at us. And all of you dads out there who are committing crimes and doing things that are wrong, stop it. Stop it. Find a way of creating something that can give you an honest living so that you can become a contributory factor to your children and to society. Because, like I said earlier, the things that you do follow you. They will follow you. If not you, your siblings or your siblings' siblings. They don't just go away. Somehow the price is paid. So don't think that you're going to do something, get away with it. You may be the one to not benefit from the negative of it, but someone will. So let's stop all the bad things from happening. Let's stop all the crime as much as we can. Let's know where our children are, as old as they might be. Call them up and say, look, what you doing, man? Where are you? Somehow just guide your children, fathers, to do the right things. And you do the right things for your children. Okay? Now, I don't know why in our society we continue to have foods and items that are presented to our Guyanese people that are loaded with chemicals, that are toxic. Some are just plain right no good, but they end up here. You know, I think we need to pay more attention to what is produced and what is put in the marketplace. You know, some inspections should be made by the authorities randomly. You know, no one must know that you're making the inspections. You just randomly make the inspection. You know, at all the marketplaces and all the food places and whatever, wherever they are that are selling or providing matter for people to consume. Just visit, and you don't have to be rigid. If you notice a problem with something, just let the proprietor know that this is a problem, you need to get off your shelf or get off the counter or discard it. If not, you're going to have to pay a penalty. You know, don't beat them up right away, because they may not know that they have a problem with something. But we need to have persons going about to different entities, looking, maybe sampling, you know, sampling to make sure that what is supposed to be in it is in it, you know, and hopefully we will be able to change a lot of what is happening in our society. I'm finding every day, and it's very disgusting to, when you screen people, to see all the lead and mercury and mycotoxins and rubotoxins and pesticides and herbicides. It is disgusting to see it. And innocent people are consuming foods that are laden with these things.
Genocide.
Why? What is it that is happening? And these things are creating problems, and people are having serious medical bills because they're becoming sick and they don't know what is wrong, and the doctors can't find it, and because they don't know what to look for. You don't know what to look for. We're just blessed where we are to have a device that can do that. That you can come there and as a person who don't say nothing, and we can figure out what is happening with you. You know, it's a blessing to have that. But everyone doesn't have that. Every doctor doesn't have it. Every clinic doesn't have it. Every hospital doesn't have it. So when you go there and you have a case that is not common, doctors are puzzled. And sometimes you really can't blame the institution, because they don't know. They don't know what it is. But much of it comes from what we consume, either eat or drink. We should really come off of all these soda pops and all these things and start producing more juices and beverages. Even if you add a little sugar, take the color out of it. Use the fruits that we have and make beverages, and stop all the chemicals that are destroying people's livers and their kidneys. You know, I don't know when we're gonna stop thinking about dollars and think about people. You know, when you provide good things to people, you will still get the dollars. Stop importing all the things that are not good for our society. You know, put them. You can't bring this in. If you bring it in, we're going to discard it because it's destructive to the society. One of them is MSG, Ajinomoto, monosodium glutamate. Why are we importing that? That's a destructive chemical. Why are we doing that? Why are we allowing it to come in our country? It comes in the cubes, it comes in the seasoning, it comes in its natural state. And it says it clearly, Ajinomoto, and we still use it. I don't know. I really don't understand when, I don't know why, and I don't understand when we're going to get serious about protecting our people in our society. When are we going to start doing it? You need to start doing it yourselves, people. You need to take the first step. You need to read your labels, and you need to make sure that certain things are not in there. You need to plant your own gardens. Get some tires, get some bins and cut them, get some receptacles and put some soil inside, and plant your okra and your bhaji and your callaloo and your pak choy and your lettuce and tomatoes. You can plant in your own concrete yard. Just get some receptacles and put some soil inside, and start producing and providing for yourselves. Start doing it. Everyone with a yard, with a platform, with a veranda can do it. We're blessed to have weather that is not cold like snow. We can plant all year round. Just got the sun, we got the rain. I was so disappointed the other day with the guy who cleans my yard. I had a blooming tomato plant. And he saw it and pulled it out.
Ignorance.
with flowers and it getting ready to tomatoes. And he pulled it out and threw it away. I was so angry, I didn't look back at the plant pot. You know? Whatever reason he did it, I don't know. I have no idea. Anyhow, we only have 24 minutes. I've got Dr. Yates here. Dr. Yates, you want to say something?
I think you saying it all for me. You don't come. You saying it all.
Oh man, okay, we got 24 minutes and I know we're going to take some calls. So my operator, please put some lines on the TV and I'm going to suggest that you make your calls. I know you got questions. This is my lemon and water with a little bit of grape inside. Okay, it looks like pink lemonade, but it's lemon, water, and grape. Right? This is for my thirst. Absolutely delicious. The phones are open. The lines are there. Make your calls. And the phone is ringing in your ear, please turn your television down. If you don't do that, then I will discontinue the call. Okay? Turn your volume down when the phone rings. When you hear it ringing on your end, just turn it down. All right? Make sure you have your questions. Make sure you have your comments. Make sure you have your, ready. Don't call me and you want to just say hello, that's fine. Because sometimes people do that. Just want to say hi and so on. But we'll take some calls and we'll try to answer some questions. And we got number one. Good evening. Hello? No dial tone. No dial tone. Let me see. I think I know how to fix this. I think. Let's see how. It's not going in there. It went in there, came out. It belong in there. Is it? Yep, belongs in there. All right. We have to get the studio a new cord. When you hear the phone ringing, turn your volume down. Turn your volume down. When the phone rings at your end, turn the volume down. I don't want to hear that sound. It affects the studio, it affects me, affects the listeners. Good evening.
Good evening, Dr. Haynes.
Good evening to you.
Yes, I would like to raise a health issue with you, please.
Fine.
All right. I'm a patient at the cardiology clinic in Georgetown.
We don't want to call any names and so on, right?
I know, I'm aware.
Okay.
And I've been going there for the last 6 years because I was diagnosed with a heart issue. What I found strange for the last 3 months, I was given a date, so 3 months date to attend clinic. And during that time, I had to get a stress test.
Okay.
When I took in the card to get the stress test, I was told that the machine is not working at the Georgetown Public Hospital. Now, my next date is in July, somewhere around in mid-July. And up to today, the machine is not working. And I am sure that I'm not the only patient that's waiting to get the stress test done. And I'm beginning to wonder if it's only one stress test machine there is at the Georgetown Hospital. And what is the administration doing